All right, let's talk about abs. For real though, how do you actually get them? If you're sick and tired of all the confusing, conflicting advice out there, you've come to the right place. We're going to break down Captain Workout's no BS guide into a super simple, actionable plan. And you know what? Let's kick things off by calling out the single biggest time waster. This quote right here, it hits the nail on the head. If you're that person doing 200 crunches a day hoping for a six-pack, well, it's time for a serious reality check. We're about to dive into why that whole strategy is just not going to get you there. So yeah, let's bust this great abs myth wide open. The biggest mistake pretty much everyone makes is thinking their abs are, I don't know, special, like they follow a different set of rules. But here's the truth. Your abs are a muscle, just like your chest, just like your biceps. And if you want them to grow, you gotta treat them that way. This right here, this comparison just makes it so clear. Think about it. Would you ever try to build a huge chest by doing 100 reps with an empty barbell? No way. You'd add weight, right? So why do we treat our abs differently? They're screaming for resistance. That's what's gonna challenge them and actually force them to develop. Okay, so if doing a million crunches is out, what's the right way to do it? It actually comes down to 4 super simple but really powerful rules. This is the foundation. This is how you stop spinning your wheels and start building real, visible abs. All right, let's run through them. Rule number 1, you have to add resistance, non-negotiable. Rule 2, you're gonna live in the 5 to 15 rep range. Why? Because that's the magic number for hypertrophy, fancy word for muscle growth. Then there's rule 3, progressive overload. This just means you're always trying to get a little bit stronger. So if you did 10 reps with 50 pounds this week, next week you either go for 11 reps or you try to do 10 reps with 55 pounds. Simple as that. And finally, rule 4, and this one might throw you for a loop, you only train them twice a week. Yep, that's it. Your abs need time to rest and recover to actually grow. And this really gets to the why behind that first rule. Look, without adding weight, sure, you might build some endurance, but you're going to end up with what we call pancake abs. Just kind of flat. Resistance, that's what builds those thick 3D blocks that actually create a defined six-pack. It's the difference between having flat abs and having abs that seriously pop. Okay, so we have the rules. Now let's put them into practice with the actual workouts. And here's the best part. You don't need to do a dozen different exercises. Seriously, this super simple, super focused 3 exercise routine, it's literally all you'll ever need. Kicking things off, we've got cable crunches. These are just awesome for hitting your upper abs. And what's great about them is how easy it is to add resistance. You just move the pin on the weight stack. Super simple. No cable machine? No problem. A crunch machine or even just holding a weight on a decline bench will do the trick. So here's the game plan. We're doing 3 sets, and you're aiming for that 10 to 15 rep range we talked about, taking about a minute of rest between sets. And remember the rule, if you can easily do more than 15 reps, that's your signal. It's time to up the weight, and you'll see the same simple structure for every exercise we do. All right, next up, we're hitting the lower abs with leg raises. Now listen, these can be tough, so if doing them with perfectly straight legs is just too hard right now, it's totally fine to bend your knees. Seriously, there's no shame in that. We're going for quality reps here, not trying to impress anyone. And the formula? You guessed it, exactly the same. We're keeping things simple and efficient. 3 sets, aiming for 10 to 15 reps, 1 minute of rest. Sticking to this makes it so much easier to track your progress and see yourself getting stronger week after week. And to wrap up the workout, we've got to hit the obliques. The muscles running down the sides of your core. For these, we're doing side crunches. And the source really recommends using cables if you can. Why? Because, again, it just makes progressive overload a piece of cake. Adding weight is so simple. And I bet you know what's coming. We're sticking to that same proven protocol. And that's it. That is the entire workout. 3 exercises twice a week with a constant focus on getting stronger. But here's the thing. Building that muscle, that's only half the battle. And now we get to the final piece of the puzzle. And honestly, this might be the most important part of all. You've all heard that classic saying, right? Abs are made in the gym, but they're revealed in the kitchen. It's a cliche for a reason. Because it doesn't matter how strong or well-developed your abs are if they're hiding under a layer of body fat. This quote is just a perfect little truth bomb, isn't it? Here's a secret. You already have abs. Every single person does. The real challenge isn't building them from nothing, it's excavating them, revealing the ones you've already got. And that, my friends, is a job for your diet. So, how do we actually do that? The magic phrase is calorie deficit. Now, I know that sounds all scientific and complicated, but it's dead simple. It just means you eat fewer calories than your body burns. That's it. When you do that over time, your body is forced to find energy somewhere else, and it starts tapping into that stored winter fuel tank. And that is exactly what we're trying to do. So, what's a good starting point? A really solid, sustainable place to begin is a deficit of about 15%. So you figure out your maintenance calories, that's how much you eat to just stay the same weight, and then you eat 15% less than that. It's the sweet spot. It's enough to get the fat loss started, but it's not so crazy restrictive that you'll give up after 3 days. And that's the key, sticking with it. All right, let's zoom out and put all these pieces together. We've talked about how to train, we've gone over the exact workout, and we've nailed down the nutrition. This right here, this is the whole blueprint for getting that six-pack. When you boil it all down, it's just these 3 things. 1, train your abs with weight and always push for more. That's progressive overload. 2, be consistent. Hit those 2 workouts every single week. And 3, lose the fat. Stay in that calorie deficit so all your hard work can actually see the light of day. And what's the result of all this? What's the payoff for sticking to this simple, no BS plan? It's that moment. You know the one. You look in the mirror one day and boom, you see real defined abs looking back at you. That's that holy shit moment that makes every bit of effort totally 100% worth it. So there you have it. The path is laid out. No magic pills, no secret exercises. Just a proven, straightforward plan based on how muscles actually grow. The blueprint is in your hands now. So the only real question left is, what's the first smart move you're going to make?